Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at this sharpener. This is called the Sharp Pebble Sharpener. It says one stone to sharp them all. It's pretty much just a cheap Amazon sharpener. So I wanted to be able to sharpen my own kitchen knives. I really wouldn't want to put one of my good knives like that nice edge right there on this QSP Penguin. I would not really want to put one of those in here because I know I'd probably mess it up, but I wanted a sharpener to be able to sharpen my kitchen knives because I use my kitchen knives every night when I cook, and they all dull after use, like most knives. So since I keep dulling my knives, I didn't want to keep taking them back to River's Edge and have them sharpen them for me. So I thought it'd be easier if I just got my own sharpener, and then I can sit down after my knives dull and then touch them all back up, get them back to perfect. So I went on Amazon, found a nice cheap sharpener, and I think it was about $29. If you look up whatever, two-sided whetstone knife sharpener, there's like a ton of different options. So this $29 one, I thought, pretty cheap price. Most of the reviews were pretty good, so I thought might as well try it out. And about a month and a half or 2 months after I bought it, Worksharp came out with pretty much the same thing. A plastic base, though. A two-sided sharpener like this with the 6,000 and 1,000 grit stones. And I'd probably rather support them than just some random company on Amazon, but I still tried this out a couple times. Thought I'd show what I thought about it. So as you can see, it comes with this little rubber base. You can either put this straight down on your table and it'll keep it from sliding, or set it down right there into the bamboo base that it comes with. And then also, the only other thing it comes with is, I believe, this guide. So you're supposed to be able to clip this onto the back. Here, I have a kitchen knife right here. You can either clip it on or I think slide it on. And then this is supposed to be able to, I'd assume you slide this ceramic-y piece against it or something, and it'll keep the angle to like an average kitchen knife angle, but I haven't used that. All I did was watch YouTube tutorials on how to sharpen a kitchen knife. So normal boxing for just an Amazon product, but most of the reviews were good. I did see some reviews that showed chipped or cracked whetstones, and which could have just been from delivery dropping it, because it's not like a super strong thing. It's pretty much just like a sandstone. I forget what they called it. Oh, it says corundum, so kind of just compacted material. And I did see some where, after I'd assume heavy use, bowed in really far, but that's pretty much what whetstones do. So I can't really tell. I can see maybe a little bit of bowing, but that could just be the camera also. So the 1,000 grit side feels nice, takes off a good amount when you're sharpening, and then to really hone it and touch it up, you go to the 6,000 grit side. There you can see the name. It's nice that it actually has the name, and the product name actually matches the name on the box, because sometimes these things, they just, throw two things together, throw it in a different branded box, and then that's what you get. So at least it's got the name on it. You can see a little void right there. So nothing has led me to believe that it's going to crack or fall apart or come apart in the middle, but I wouldn't go pulling on it. So I treat it pretty delicately. I don't use it very often because, I just sharpen it every once in a while, but I've sharpened, I think I have 5 kitchen knives that I use regularly, and I've sharpened most of them twice on it, and pretty much gone through and sharpened all of them. So here you can see one of the edges I put on it, and I'm no expert at hand sharpening. I could probably do a lot better on a belt grinder, but for a nice clean edge on here, this knife, this is the Kai USA Pro AUS 6. Hey, you can kind of see me there. I believe it's AUS 6 steel. all 6M stainless steel. So after a couple months, maybe a year of using this, I never sharpened it once. I completely chipped the entire edge from back to front. Was completely chipped. It was pretty much a serrated knife at that point. Cutting through a tomato, I pretty much had to saw back and forth because I didn't want to go over 10 minutes to the knife store and have them sharpen it for me just because I was being lazy. And I didn't have anything to sharpen it myself. So after I bought the sharpener, I sat down for a good long time on that 1000 grit and got almost all the chips. There's probably a couple in the back that you can see, but it's not going to be able to focus on that, I don't think. Yeah, you can kind of see 2 little dings right there. If you imagine those all the way through the blade and about 10 times bigger, that's about as how chipped they were. So the tip, I'm still having trouble getting the tip back to like a very sharp point, but it is at least sharpened blade up there. But I've sharpened all my knives on it. There was nothing about this sharpener that made it harder on any of the other shapes or anything. There you can see me again. But you can see this edge. Now this edge just, all it did was dull down. It didn't chip or anything because it's a little bit softer steel, which is probably what you want more in a kitchen knife, not to chip. You want it to just roll the edge over if it's going to dull. But you can kind of see the edge. It's a lot more uniform. It's a pretty smooth edge. It was pretty easy to sharpen, and pretty much I watched a Joshua Weissman video, who is a YouTube chef, and I think a couple other chef people, and then like actual knife people, just to try to get down what I was supposed to do to sharpen it. And my whole technique was pretty much just a combination of all of them. Just soak the stone for 12 to 20 minutes, I think it says. You let all the air get out of it, and then you keep a thing of water next to you as you're sharpening. So every couple passes, you dip your hand in it, you rub it back on there to wet the top of the stone. Then you can really feel it starting to take material off when it's really wet. So it doesn't feel like when it's more gunked up with metal shavings and starting to dry more, then you can kind of tell it's not really doing as much. So you put the water on it, clean all those chips off, and then go back to it. So I would pretty much put my hands to put pressure down on it, kind of line it up at like a 15-degree angle or 20-degree angle, and then just push along the edge. And then, or I would start at the back and then pull forward and then switch, push, do that. That's pretty much how I sharpened most of them. There's other people that say like pull toward you, but then other people say that, oh, pulling toward you is dangerous. So I pretty much found the way of just putting my hands down on the blade to put, I don't know, a couple pounds of pressure, I said, and then you just slide it along. And then you try to keep it pretty uniform. After you get like a kind of a uniform, clean edge, then you flip it over to the smoother side, which is this white, more like ceramic-y feeling grit. And then you just do the same thing. You pretty much just do it until the burr feels like it's gone, and it's all pretty easy. I mean, this thing is pretty bare bones. It's just 2 different materials, a rubber pad and the wooden base. The wooden base does have a little rubber mat on the bottom of it. It's not super grippy, so if your stone is all wet, you're dipping your fingers in water and putting it on the stone and getting more water around it, you're probably going to get water under the block like I did a couple times. And then when you're pushing and really trying to get down on the all the chips and stuff in the blade like I was with this one, you kind of push the stone around. So it's not the most grippy, but if you wet a paper towel and then put that down, then that can kind of help it, like the cutting board trick where you put a wet paper towel under your cutting board. So definitely good for $29. I think if I was to go back and buy another one, or if I wear this one out or something, I'll go for the Work Sharp one, just because I know they're a known brand in sharpening. They're not sharp Pebble like this one is, but for being a $29.99 Amazon item that gets shipped to your door in like 2 days, then I think it's definitely a buy. Nothing amazing or spectacular about it, but definitely nothing wrong with my version. So definitely a good option to sharpen your own knives. Don't let them get as bad as I did. And that's pretty much all I have for you today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out the other videos on my channel, and don't forget to subscribe to help out the channel and help it grow. And thanks for watching.